Hey guys, Ponce here, not on the public test room, but actually on the normal server here to talk to you guys a little bit about some potential Urgot changes. Now the reason I'm on the normal server just showing this is because these changes are not actually on the public test room. This is very early preliminary Riot discussion. It's just on their forums. So I'll link to the Riot post in the discussion or the description below this video. So yeah, just keep in mind this is really early stuff. I suspect Riot's going to do a lot more than what they're saying here. In fact, if you read through the whole thread, there's other stuff they talk about they want to do that's not actually listed in the one post that I'm gluing into the middle of this video right above my head. But yeah, it's some neat changes. I do actually play a little bit of Urgot. In Season 1, I think Urgot was my most played champion. So I know a little bit about the guy, and I'm kind of familiar with his various balance changes over the years. And while I still do like Urgot, and I think he's decent, I do recognize he's kind of clunky and weird and a bit dated. So yeah, I appreciate what's happening here, or at least the right thought process. First off, his auto attack is becoming better in terms of just sort of its animation and speed and stuff, so that's always good. The thing I find particularly interesting that they mentioned, I'm not sure if I'm reading this correctly about the Q chain, so I don't know, you guys can give me your interpretation as well, but it's worded a bit awkwardly, but what I think they're saying is, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but sometimes when you shoot off the E, and it looks like the Q should be the lock-on version of the Q, it's not happening because of when they check to see when it's actually locked on or not. I'll see if I can demonstrate on the race. So basically I'm going to shoot this off. And see, I shot off the Q there, and it looked like that should have been a lock-on shot, right? Yeah, but I pressed it slightly too early because it's checking to see whether or not the lock-on is happening at the beginning of the animation. They're going to change this at the end of the animation, so basically if I do this now, that would have been a lock-on shot, if I'm reading this correctly. So that'll be really nice, because I found that really annoying, and I've noticed it in a lot of games. You're just pressing it like a split second too early, even though visually it looks like you're locked on, and it's just kind of frustrating. So yeah, that's pretty good. Aside from that, they're talking about when you're last hitting with the Q, it's going to refund half the cost, but in compensation, the Q might cost more. We'll see how that pans out. I don't really know how that's going to affect things. It seems kind of weird, but if the idea or the intent is to lower his general mana usage, whether or not this idea works, if they're going to implement something that helps his particularly early game mana cost, that would be really nice. Level 1 through 3 is kind of rough on Urgot because things cost so much mana and he's not too good. But yeah, well, once you hit level 3, it's not so bad. That's when you can start fighting back, in my experience anyway. And so they're basically going to buff his ult a little bit, looks like, as well. And in this post that I've kind of glued into the video above my head, they don't mention this, but they're talking about having his Terra Capacitor shield, the W, scale with his mana, which is kind of interesting. Because right now it scales off AP, which is stupid. I don't even know why that's there. But yeah, that should be. So that's it for me for now. Like I said, this is not even on the public test room. This is super Urgot, like, conceptual changes. So when this actually hits public test room, which I think they're talking about, you know, hopefully happening for the 4.15 patch, which is several patches from now, I'll get right on, you know, just kind of figuring all that stuff out and bringing you guys what the actual changes are. But I like this speculation and sort of the thought process of where these changes are going. So yeah, perhaps I'll start playing Urgot a bit more again. That'll be great, because I do like the champion, and hopefully it makes all you other Urgot fans out there happy as well. I'll see you guys around, and goodbye.